Good afternoon. My name is Ronald Bird, and this is another edition of Style Speaks. This is my Men in Uniform edition, special edition of Style Speaks, my November Scorpio celebration. Although, unfortunately, this brother, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because he makes up where he ain't a Scorpio, he makes up in other places. But anyway, well, we got the mailman in the house. Hey, Mr. Anderson Bryce.
How you doing, Ronald?
And you say call you Bryce, right?
Call me Bryce.
Okay, call him Bryce. Bryce, welcome. Thank you for being here, taking your time out today to talk to us.
Thank you, bro.
All right, appreciate it. Now, talking about the whole uniform piece. Now, this brother, let me just put him on blast real quick. He ain't your grandmama's mailman, okay? When I say that, I mean, if you're seeing his pictures in his uniform, you be like, and I wanted to ask you about that too. I'm like, now, in the summertime when you're walking around with the, you know, the brother got some muscles going on, he shook my hand and almost came off. And he got the little cut-off uniform, like I said, ain't your grandmama's mailman. And he got the little cut-off, all the muscles popping out and whatever. And I'm like, well, when he delivers that mail, and you know, the young lady opened up the door and she's like, well, thank you, Mr. Mailman, but you look like you're a little parched. Can I bring you some iced tea? And why don't you just come on in for a minute, baby, sit down. And I'm like, well, how do you handle that? Because I know he gets it, but we're not going to go there. Because I may get you in trouble, but I really wanted to ask you.
I need my good government job.
He was like, well, I'm not here to talk about my personal business, Mr. Bird. But anyway, I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you.
Now, I see that you're very, and I love the shirt today. You're looking really sharp today.
Well, thank you.
Where do you get your fashion sense?
Well,
where do you think that comes from?
Actually, it originates from Chicago.
Okay.
Because in the fall, most of the time.
Wait a minute.
It originates
Wait a minute.
from Chicago.
Okay, let me just stop you real quick. He said Chicago, the Bears. Now he's a big Chicago Bears fan.
And the Bulls.
But we're not. Oh, okay. And the Bulls. I like the
Bulls.
Blackhawks. And he's a big sports fanatic, but we're not gonna go there this afternoon. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know, we don't want to be tumbling down here on the grass because I'm a big Redskins fan. But we're gonna try to leave the sports piece out of this.
Well, thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate that.
Okay, you can go back to your Chicago.
Fashion and sports. I mean, you got us this year, Redskins. That's cool.
Okay.
But like I was saying before, the fashion comes from Chicago. In the fall, we like to do a lot of different things, accessories, and accessories are big in Chicago. Watches, bracelets,
jewelry,
exactly,
jewelry,
hats, scarves, the infinity scarves, things of that nature that, you know, pretty much takes your style to another level. I think a lot of us, or a lot of brothers these days, we don't accessorize. See, our shoes should come with a belt instead, like the women. Their shoes come with a handbag. Our shoes should come with a belt. So it's kind of hard to really kind of match that up, but if you take the time, it's definitely out there to be had.
So those kind of, well, I mean, but styles have kind of changed since then. Women don't necessarily match. That's kind of old school, if you will. So women don't really match their shoes with the belts and the handbags, and everything's kind of different and a little more eclectic. So that whole matchy thing. And I guess, you know, I used to, guys who kind of match the shoes with the belt and the da-da-da-da-da, I call that the Garanimals look. Because that don't really take a whole lot of effort to coordinate your pieces if you gotta have them black and red, the red this and the red that to match the red into this and the da-da-da. But because it doesn't allow you to be as creative. So I have my own interpretation about the whole, but as you said, that's a kind of a Chicago thing.
Yes,
that whole look. That's very much so.
That's how we.
That's how you kind of blend.
That's how we blend. If you have on a pair of brown shoes and you have on a black belt, yeah, we're gonna look at you sideways because for us, that's how our styles pretty much come about. That's how our styles are. Okay, so do you think it's still the case? Now you're here on the East Coast. Now you're here in DC. Do you tend to, you know, kind of follow the same? You know, do you have that? I don't like to, and not to offend that old school kind of mentality, or the kind of younger looks where like I said, the looks are, the fashion pieces are more eclectic. You don't necessarily have to match this with that. It's about being able to coordinate and mix different colors and patterns and textures, and that really shows the true person if they're really into fashion, if they're fashion forward, if they're able to do that. Do you find that that's a challenge for you? Because it's like I said, it's real easy to match color with color. But it's very creative, and you really kind of show a different dimension of your taste, if you will, if you're able to kind of blend different
colors and patterns and stuff.
And
what's your thought about that personally?
With colors and schemes, to me personally, it is very easy to mix and match that. But to mix styles and make it work for you, and that's what's the biggest thing with style and fashion. It's personality. You could put something on that's 4 different colors, and if you don't feel good, if you're not carrying yourself in that manner, then everybody looks at it and say, look, did that dude get dressed in the dark? But when you put it on and you step out, you have that swagger going on. You feel that what you put together is how you want it to look on you, and you feel good about you. There's nothing anybody else does.
Okay. Well, how would you classify your own individual style? Well, if somebody was to ask, if I was to ask somebody that knows you, first tell me what you think they would say, and then how would you define your own look in your own words?
If you have anyone that met you, knew you, or say, well, how is Bryce on his style? They first of all say very coordinated, very neat, very straightforward. Everybody can't pull off the different colors, the different patterns. So I'm basically I'm an older gentleman, and I like to look very mature. I like my style to be up to date, but not get trendy. Because a lot of times people get caught up in the trendy, and that's really not. It doesn't work for me. So for me, it would be, because also I was in the Marine Corps, so everything is straight, everything is cut, tailored, nothing big, nothing loose, and everything is pretty much like nice and tight. So that's how my style for me is, and my style is also versatile. I can put on a jersey, boots, nice jeans, and then I can also come shirt, tie, vest. Then I can go metro and throw a vest, jeans, and a tie with a bow tie. Rock a hat on the side. It's just the versatility that I have, that I'm proud of, that I have.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's great. I mean, that's definitely diverse and being eclectic and not being pigeonholed in a certain look. I think a lot of mature men just can kind of get, they're trying not to look too young, because as we mature men, we try to follow you. We're cognizant of the different styles and fashions that the young guys are wearing, and maybe if we can incorporate, a look, the straight tempered tailored pants, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was a wide leg, everything was wide leg, cuffs full, the Magic Johnson suits, and everything was big and baggy, and the long jackets. Now everything is tight, fitted, short, and everybody, it looks a little young, it looks a little too tight or whatever, but that's the European look. And I've always kind of been more closer to European fashion as opposed to American fashion, American designers. Valentino is probably my ultimate favorite designer out there. But it's interesting, and definitely you being from the military background and being used to that whole tailored, that says a lot.
And also, too, what you're saying with the European fashion, a lot of their clothes are not cut for us thicker guys. So it's kind of hard to actually, like the slim fit jeans, slim fit pants, slim cut shirts. Now, if I wear a slim cut shirt, I have to get extra large slim cut shirt.
But you can still wear it, though.
But I can still
fortunately for you, because you have the physique to pull that off. But you definitely have to go bigger to get that same look.
Exactly. So they don't really cater to the thicker individuals to necessitate wearing the European look. So therefore, for us here in America, we have to kind of get into European / what we do and how we do it. Like the ball caps. A lot of the men around here wear, the sports caps and things. You can incorporate that with your get up easy. You just kind of mix and match, but you don't want to go too sport and be too dressy. It's a fine line that you have to rock with that. So it's easy, but the bottom and the biggest thing I tell or try to tell younger guys, be versatile. I can see you at the ball court and go, oh man, he's shaking. Then I can see you going for a job interview and your shirt is ironed, your pants have pre-cinema, you have a belt on, and your pants are around your waist. And that's the thing I try to get to the young people. It's okay to wear your baggy jeans or whatever when you're hanging with the fellas. But when you go on that interview, fellas, wear those dress pants like dress pants.
Just being appropriate. Just being appropriate. Well, the styles, even getting back into the more trendier looks, the tailored, I mean, you look really nice today. You got the flat front pants on, the tapered pant. You know, and for some people, a lot of mature men aren't ready to embrace, if you will, the tapered. They're not, and a lot of us are just not really comfortable with our own body shapes and sizes. So they feel like the tapered is really accenting, you know, our imperfections. So they'd rather go with something loose, something baggy, something flared, because that was the fashion for so long. So they're not absorbing those new looks and those new styles. And we're not saying that you should do so, but I think because styles do change, as you say, people need to be a little bit more versatile, being able to, you can get those tapered jeans, those straight fitted, you know, jackets or whatever, but make sure it's something that you'll be comfortable in, as opposed to sticking with something that has worked for you 10, 20 years ago. Because I just can't stand that you're not really, people do kind of need to change with the time, but without taking on somebody else's persona. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And being individual with that. So you seem to be very comfortable with doing that.
Oh, very comfortable. Okay. And as you grow in your maturity, you'll find your niche, or you'll find where you fit in and what works for you. And when you figure that out, then that's when you latch on to that. And then you do different things, and you can move with the times without being of the time.
Okay. And being able to just kind of express your own individual look.
Exactly.
Okay. So where's your most comfort level? I mean, do you like dressing up, or do you prefer to be in jeans and sneakers and boots? Or, I mean, because you are a man who wear a uniform in the course of a day, pretty much most of, 9 to 5 or whatever the hours are. So in the evenings when you're going out on a date or whatever, on the weekends when you're doing your thing, what are we most likely to see? Are you ready to bust out and put on a little, or are you still kind of very, very casual? Or what do you tend to do?
It depends on what the situation calls for. Okay. I'm very comfortable with the shirt and tie, and I'm very comfortable with my jersey.
So you don't mind dressing up?
I don't mind it at all. Okay. I love it when, since I do wear uniform, I love it when I can throw on a tie and a vest and to dress pants, or I'm throwing on my jersey, my hat. Going to church also. Go to Reed Temple, Glendale, Maryland. And there they have a free-flowing dress code, which some days I'll put on a shirt, bow tie. Then other days I'll throw on a nice shirt out with nice jeans and dress shoes. So it's a comfortability level whenever I get dressed. Even when I put on that uniform, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
So
we all notice that. With the bucket hat on, the cut-off shirt. With the shirt down, the hair. I'm like, okay,
no medallions,
you better. I'm like, is he delivering mail, or what is he delivering? Well, look, I am so glad you took the time out. I enjoyed you, man. I'm so glad you took the time out today to talk to me. We've been planning this all month. I've been enjoying posting your pictures, getting a lot of comments. I'm like, well, you didn't talk to that man to find out what his route is. But I thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
I'm gonna let you get on with the rest of your day.
Okay, brother.
And for my Men in Uniform editions of Style Speaks, this is Ronald Bird, and we'll talk to you soon.